Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. Um, and today we have a very special guest joining us from Tulungagung, Mas Dimas Prakoso. Yeah. So he is a lecturer at UIN Satu Tulungagung, and he is also a very experienced journalist. He has done a lot of coverage on a lot of important affairs in Indonesia and beyond. And today he's going to share his experience and his knowledge um, both from academia, but also based on his own experience in journalism. Yeah. So last week we had another guest over, Miss Wika, right? She laid down sort of the theoretical foundation for today's session. So last week we talked about the theories of public speaking, right? We talked about how to craft a compelling presentation and how to respond to questions, right? How to handle questions during presentations. And today we are going to focus more on the practicality of public speaking as well as negotiation. So hopefully you will learn much about how to communicate with different audiences and how to negotiate with different audiences to support your advocacy, migration related advocacy. Yeah. So, Mas Dimas, we put together these kinds of, let's say, sharing sessions, right, as a way of supplementing our main English language course. So we have been running the course for I think 16 weeks now. The course is joined by roughly 80 students and 18 teachers. They're joining us from across Indonesia and Singapore and Malaysia. They learn not just English, but also migration related topics and concepts. And we use these sharing sessions as a platform to, for them to practice their speaking skills and basically the kind of vocabulary that they have learned from the course. Yeah. Um, yeah. So this this event is actually in direct response to some of the suggestions from the participants. So we did a a brief evaluation 2 weeks ago, and some of the participants raised a very important, well, not concern, but a need to have this kind of opportunity where they can practice their speaking skill and to learn more about communication skills. So thank you again for coming, and I think I'll just let you introduce yourself and basically what we're going to learn today. Thank you, Mas. Over to you.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Yoga. I think this is a great ideas. From the various location in Indonesia, Malaysia, and also Singapore are getting together for learning something new, and we thanks to technology that facilitate us for learning something good experience and something like this. And I thanks for Yoga and for all of you here who invite me for just sharing about my own experience as Indonesian journalist and also the current Indonesian scholars. I thanks a lot for this very wonderful opportunities. So perhaps it's more likely to share the experience. So perhaps I learn more about the advocacy from all of you, and you can learn about the communication process from me. And can I share my presentation for now?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I will try to share my screen first. Wait, how to make it? Okay. So here. So let me introduce myself at first. with I'm Dimas Prakoso. Currently, I'm an assistant professor in digital communication in communication department at Win1 and also the head of international office. I also the digital literacy activist for JPLD and also facilitator trainer. I have my own experience as Indonesian journalist. Yeah. I'm afraid that my connection
Yeah, it's
getting
breaking.
not
Your
good,
voice is
but I
breaking.
hope okay. But please let me know if the connection getting worse.
Okay.
Okay, this is my activities. I have various activities, especially in digital. For example, like the empowerment, like this activities, and this is my previous experience during my previous work as a journalist. And now I would like all of you, let's we check for this picture. Perhaps what do you get from this picture? Maybe you can try to type in the chat room. This is very empty. No one here means there is nothing to discuss.
White room,
Yeah, okay.
white room,
And then what else?
Meeting room.
Office.
Meeting room. Yeah,
Office.
office. Okay. Yes, okay. Office. Yes, it seems likely a space for discuss or something. And then, yes, wonderful room for focus group discussion. Yeah, but how come if this room are remain quiet with no activities? Means there is no information, no discussion, and no decision at all that we can make. It will left as an empty space, empty room, until we never know when it happened. But while we're talking about the advocacy, I would like to start with this sentence. I have always believed that when you have a voice, you have an obligation to use that voice to empower others. And yeah, uh, all of you have your own voice to empower the others, especially in your own field. And that's potentially happen by your own words that you deliver from for the various communication channel like through the social media and then your advocacy programs like people empowerment, focus group discussion, and many things. But how come it could be happen? Actually, it needs the skill like the public speaking. But before we deep dive into the speaking, I would like to show you about this one. This is the UNICEF model of communication for development. While we check where is the advocacy becomes the largest portion of this model. Means the advocacy, by doing advocacy, you doing many activities like the community relations and then organizational relation and interpersonal relation or interpersonal communication. From this picture, we may learn that it is with important for us to create our own message to the global world, to show the global world about our mission, so on and so forth. So while we are talking about public speaking, public speaking is not only this space. People with very large audience speaking in front of people or speaking at the meeting room. But the current public speaking is like this. The way we communicate with our counterparts, both offline or online, and then how we could make it through various communication channel, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, or X, and then Pinterest, and many social media channel that we can use it. But how to make it? It's become again and again question for all of us. So I try to figure out about the public speaking, the old version and the current version. The old version or the previous version, public speaking, are closely related to the speech, talking something in front of the people, giving presentation, demonstration, conference, meeting, etc. But the current public speaking, it's more wider. For example, like we can use public speaking for our webinar, perhaps while you try to develop your own YouTube account, you can make it through your YouTube account. You can make a presentation through YouTube. Sometimes people require like the video email presentation, online conference, voice conference, or perhaps we can conduct a meeting through the social media. While we are talking about the public speaking, the most important is about the sender, message, and receiver. Or in communication, we figure out by communicator, message, and communicant. So as a communicator, we should create our own message and deliver it to our communicant, and our communicant will deliver their own feedback to us. So this is the simple way of communication. But what should be prepared first while we are getting into the public speaking process? So according to my own experience, the most important is we should understand ourselves first. While we will start to speak something or to deliver our message, sometimes we will think that they will laugh at me. Perhaps, but not all of the people look at us. Or sometimes we will think that who cares what I think? Make sure that all of the things that you think, your action are so, what's that, beneficial for the other people. Or perhaps people will think like, how do I look like a braggart? Or perhaps I think I don't have a good appearance, so perhaps people will not see me if I spoke in front of them. No, that is no. Every single people has their own opportunity to deliver their own message to the global world and to influence the other people. So perhaps if we think that we afraid the other people will look at us, please be humble. I know the most was that the most scary things is while we should explain all the things in front of a lot of people, and we automatically not realize that our expression is so nervous. So please be confident with the situation, be confident, and keep in your mind that I the expert in this area. So you can how to get the great public speaking, especially for advocacy. Uh, I will deep dive into this three level of effective public speaking. The first is about the public speaking foundation, and then speech preparation, and also the speech practice. Uh, if you have paper near your place right now, please get the paper and also the pen if it is possible, but if it's not possible, that's totally. So I will try first with the public speaking foundation, and we can try to practice about the public speaking foundation. Uh, the information I have from yoga, many of you are actively empower the others through your various ways and in various areas. So you must have your own message that you should deliver to the public, not only to the public, but the main goals is to influence, for example, the regulation and then the people belief and so forth, so on and so forth. So while we are talking about the public speaking foundation, so we will start with the speech purpose. You should identify which the most appropriate. You should deliver the information in front of many people. Please, you can choose one or two from this list. Do you want to inform someone or some organization or perhaps the authorities about your own advocacy? Or do you want to communicate what's the real happen? Or perhaps do you want to educate the other people? Or do you want to entertain? But for the advocacy purpose, I think to entertain the others people is not appropriate. So perhaps you can play around from to inform, to communicate, and to educate. You can choose which one. If you want to inform, means like you should preparing yourself with your own mission, your own message, and uh, you should preparing with the relevant data. If you want to communicate, you should understand that to communicate has a closely relation with people-to-people communication. Perhaps it happened in the level of lobbying and in the level of negotiation. So personal approach are quite necessary here. But while you want to educate the other people, means you will deliver your material in front of a lot of people, a lot of your target audience. From the speech purpose, I would like to jump into the audience analysis. I think it is quite important, and I took this material from Purdue Global about the generation differences in the workplace. I know the context is in the workplace, but we can learn especially about their communication style, because style is quite necessary for us to preparing our speech. Okay. While we are talking about the X generation, commonly they are so very flexible, informal, skeptical, but independent. And their communication style is whatever is the most efficient, including phone calls, face-to-face, and then they motivated by diversity, work-life balance somehow, and they have a worldview like favoring diversity, quick to move on in their employee to meet their needs, resistant to change at work if it affects their personal life. Nah, so we can try to make the approach for this communicant. But if we facing up with the millennials, we should understand that the millennials mostly competitive, civic and open-minded, and achievement-oriented. So their communication style is about text and then email. They're very common with that situation. And this Z generation are quite different. While they are usually use their social media account and email. From this audience analysis, we can understand that how should we approach our communicant. It must be work, especially while we should make like people-to-people connection and then like interpersonal communication with all of those. For the Indonesian case, for example, the X generation is commonly sit on their position, especially in government sector. And millennials generation comes after the X generation. But Z generation are mostly the staff. So from this case, we can adapt to deliver our own message in front of the various generation. After we understand our audience analysis, we can try to choose our topic. Here I write several questions that perhaps you can use it to get your own topic. First, how to elaborate the topic. Sometimes we did a lot of the things, but we don't know which one the most appropriate to be delivered. So we can try to check the news or information first, and we get influence or we get inspiration from that news or information. Or we can elaborate it from our own personal intention and personal experiences. And then we should understand who is my communicant or the target audience and which the most beneficial for our communication target or our communicant. So it seems likely to the speech purpose and which the most powerful for attracting public interest in general. And can I use the current issues as a way echoing your advocacy and do the current situation condition appropriate with the mission. So it's also important because while the people getting into some topic, they will try to find the same information over and over again. We can use that way to echoing our own our own uh, advocacy mission. So next, we can identify the potential effect and we should ready with the escape plan. Why it's become so important? Because sometimes the other people will try to create their own version of information from our own of information first. So we share our idea and the other people will grab it, take it and modificate it, and then they share it with their own version. So as a communicator, we should be ready with this situation. And now let's we try to, I would like to give you some, some minutes to elaborate the public speaking foundation. We try with this one first, like uh, you can try to choose your speech purpose and in which context. Perhaps I want to deliver my speech in front of my audience through YouTube. Okay, just go for it. I would like to make it uh, in terms of conduct a TV interview. That's totally okay. Please, you can try to choose which one do you want. Perhaps 1 minute first. Okay, have you done? Maybe you can respond through the chat room. Wow, that's great. To educate teenagers about mental health. Okay, any others? Okay, after choosing the speech purpose, we will try to choose our audience. Millennia choose their target audience as a teenagers. So, well, after you choose your audience, so you can try to figure out on this way how to approach your target audience for your perhaps the Z generation, the millennials, or the X generation. Which one? Oh, impressive. Thank you for AI. Okay, you can learn from this PowerPoint about your strategy to approach your target audience. For the millennial, like your target audience in this case is teenagers. So how is your way to deliver in front of the to deliver your message in front of the teenagers? And I think the same situation happened to Ririn because your target is students. So I suppose that the current students are most likely the Z generation or perhaps the Alpha generation. Yeah. Okay. I give you, yeah, okay, more by online. Yes, that is true. General people, yes. Okay. Well, we try to, the general people means we are playing around between X generation, millennials, and Z generation. And here is the challenge. Like, we should find out which the most appropriate level of message that potentially received by all of our target audience. For example, like the X generation, they are currently love for status quo and they don't really like the changes, perhaps. And it's quite different with the millennials, while the millennials uh, has their own self-centered perspective, and the Z generation are uh, uh, what's that? They have their various interests, especially for the global issues. So we can use this way to educate them. Okay. So after this, I will give you like 3 minutes for preparing your around 30-second message related to your topic or your sample that you write on the meeting chat. 3 minutes from now. And we will try to practice after the 3 minutes. Okay, can you hear my voice right now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so is any one of you become a volunteer to deliver your thing or your concept? Please. We will try for speaking in around 30 seconds. We try to deliver our own idea to the other people for as long as 30 seconds. Anyone want to start it, please?
Maybe I can try.
Yes, who is talking?
Okay.
Okay, Budina
Uh,
or who?
okay. So I just come to the community in the village, be aware about the trafficking issue. So we remind to everyone here from the when considering work abroad without proper informations and protections, you may fall into trafficking traps in a very short time. Is that okay?
Sorry, I forget that I muted my microphone. Okay, thank you, Bu Dina. Perhaps you can try speaking directly by giving is your main message. For example, you want to focus on the what's that? If you want to focus with traffic, or if you want to focus to the others issues, please go straight with it. But you can combine with who is your target audience. So you can, so guys, while we are talking about the target audience, we are talking about the communicant and who will receive our delivered message. So it's also influencing our strategy for approaching them. Like if we want to reach the Z generation target audience, means we should deliver it in a very casual style, and then very friendly atmosphere, or maybe very friendly ecosystem and something like that. So we can try. But by the way, thank you, Bu Dina. Perhaps you want to try once again?
That's enough. Maybe later.
Okay, that's okay. Perhaps the others, please.
Hello,
Can I?
I would like to try. Mas Dimas, you're muted.
Please go. Okay, please go. You can try for now.
Okay, I will try it. This is about the how to educate the people about the safe migration. So we have to prepare the material like how people to prepare themselves about the procedure to go abroad, and then um, how the worker prepare themselves when they be a migrant worker, the administration or maybe the law in the country, and then how to get the help when they get a problem in this worker. Maybe like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Deki. So if I if I'm right on my notes that there are various topic that you want to deliver, so perhaps we can be more specific into one topic and go directly. For example, like the documents, so we can try to deliver. But uh, when we are talking in the longer condition atau longer ecosystem like the seminar, yes, that's totally appropriate. That's totally relevant with the topic. But if we have a very small time or limited times, we should choose one things as our focus. So uh, why it's become important? Because sometimes we are not only talking in front of the people, but also sometimes we should facing up the media interview and something. So we should prepare for that way too. So okay. Uh, I remember about this way. I will try to share my screen again. So what did the Pak Deki said? It's about the speech preparation. So especially for the organize. So we try to organize all the things like the topic we select and the subtopic, and we should organize it into one narrative that potentially we can use to deliver our own message. Before we organize it, we can conduct a research. So here, from the research, we can find which the most update data, especially. So while it is quite important for us to deliver all of our message based on the data or on the research. So we can try to find this way. While we are talking about the advocacy in the area of migration, we can try to find the current research data about the migration itself, and then the what's that government regulation and something. And then we will organize which one as the main of our message and which one as a supporting message. So yeah, I know that perhaps it is quite like not as easy as we thought, because we need to try it over and over again. So we can try to organize it for our speech. Is anyone here who want to try once more, or you want to try to deliver your own message? Okay. Anyone want to share their opinion? Or perhaps we can discuss?
Let me try.
Okay, Melania,
I
you
will
can try.
discuss about, yeah, okay. I will, the last idea about, I want to educate teenagers about mental health. It refers to our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, we feel, and we behave. Mental health will help us cope with the stress challenge, build strong relationship, make healthy choice, feel fulfilled and productive. Mental health encompasses various aspects, including emotional health, managing emotions, psychological health, thoughts, feeling, behavior, social health, relationship, interaction. So maintaining good mental health is essential for overall well-being and quality of our life. I think that's enough for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Melania. That's great. Wonderful. Yeah. I like it. While you give you was that your perspective directly into the mental health, what is mental health, and all of the surrounding areas in your own message. Yeah. So we should make it at first. So we should organize it and we should deliver. Okay. While we are talking about the delivering our own message into the public means we win in one was that in one level. So we win to cut especially our nervousness. It's become a very great obstacle, mostly afraid for deliver their own message to the public. But here I would like to highlight that nervous is a normal just for the first 10 seconds. After that, that is not so normal. Yeah. So we should comply with our nervousness for the first 10 seconds only. And we should control ourselves and we should told to ourselves that yes, I'm capable enough to deliver this message. Please be nervous and make it. And at the end, voila, this is it. Gitu. Okay, Mbak Ida, if you want, that's totally okay. Or perhaps the other want to try to deliver the main message. So why I told you that you should your own main message here because according from my experience as an Indonesian journalist, uh, please apologize me please first. I found there are many of people with their own advocacy to deliver things. I try to figure out why it happens because yes, they can make it. They have a good experience on it, but they have a difficulties to deliver, and especially to choose which one the most powerful message that I should deliver right now. So that is why I encourage all of you to push yourself, push your limit this afternoon uh, to figure out which the most powerful message for your speak. And I know it is so challenging for all of us because choosing which the most powerful message is never easy, and it needs uh, for longer period or long distance before we can make, but we can thrive from now. Uh, we also can try to train ourselves to get this one by watching news program, or perhaps we can try by reading various news programs as news as well, because in the news video there must be one main message on it. Otherwise, the news video or perhaps the news website, they also add some of the information, but they still have only one message as a topic. So we can try to train ourselves by that way. Because why message becomes so very crucial, especially in the area of advocacy, because message become a king and it's become a content. In nowadays life, content is so powerful, especially to shape public perspective, to rise the support, and then sometimes we can drive the change for the people. So we can use our own message to make it. And the other way to train ourselves for preparing our own message, we can try on our social media, especially while we make or we write some Facebook status, we can focus into one topic and then we can elaborate to get it deeply. So by doing so, we can train ourselves automatically, and while someday we should facing up with the opportunity to speak in front of the other people, we can deliver it almost perfect. Okay. Is anyone here who want to try to deliver their thing or perhaps their mission, their message? Please, if you want to try.
Can I?
Okay, Adinda, go for it.
I will entertain my classmate. My topic is about the history of the Batavian Republic. It is my subject, history subject. To inform my classmate during the presentation about the story of the founding of the Republic Bataaf and about the French Revolution, which was one of the causes, and what relationship with Indonesia during the colonial period and what its impact now. Maybe it is a little entertainment with the story so that they don't get bored listening my presentation in the class.
Sorry, can you repeat especially for the last part? I missed that point for a while. I'm sorry.
I will to entertain them so they don't get bored listening my presentation.
Oh, okay. So how do we make our presentation more enjoyable for our audience?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, that's like that. Okay. Okay, Adinda, you can try by giving some, what's that? Some example, and then give a various expression from your face and from your In communication area, we know about the intonation, so we can try to practice our intonation, like the intonation, our articulation, or the clearly we speak something, and accentuation, which part of the words that we will give it as a stress. So, okay. Wow, that's great. So you are in a high school right now. That's a good agenda. So uh, it's also important for you to get to know about your audience first. In this case, is your classmates. So as a classmates, you must be understood about what is likely the most by your friends and yeah, try to make it by from starting from like which one the most interesting from them, and you try to what's that to wrap all the message into one and deliver it with that way. If your friends very like to or very enjoy with something casual, you can try to deliver it in a casual ways. But if they are prefer for the formal one, you can try to deliver it in a formal ways. So that's totally depends on the who is our target communicant. Gitu ya, Dinda.
Okay, thank you.
And especially okay, and especially you can add some as well. Okay, to discuss something that's totally okay, my friends. Or if you want to deliver, you want to like, okay, Dimas, I have several experience for speaking in front of the others people, and you want to discuss with me here, and that's totally welcome. Okay, I share again my screen right now. Now, practice. Most of the people believe that speech practice is a very crucial for the public speaking. I personally believe that sometimes, yes, it is, but sometimes it is not. Which the difference is? The importance of speech practice especially happen while we will deliver our communication or our presentation in front of the formal setting. But for the but for the personal setting, it is not so important to practice it very much because in some cases, for the some people, while we practice it a lot, it raise the what's that? It raise like the nervousness. So it is important for us to try to understand ourselves first. If we think that our stress level for preparing our presentation are getting higher, we should stop our rehearse or our practice. Stop. If we still enjoy it, just go for it. But what should be prepared, especially in the level of speech practice, is about the verbal delivery. And the second is about the nonverbal delivery. Verbal delivery is about the choose the right words. I think we can getting easier while we should present our our mind or our things in our local language. And then the non-verbal delivery, it's more closely to our expression and our gesture. And then we can add something like our message, our contact. Nah, I think it is important, especially while we conduct it through offline, yeah. But in online setting, I know that it is to realize because the situation is getting so different. In the online thing, we cannot see the other people at the same time, so on difficulties to get it. Uh, this one. We have a strong public speaking foundation, starting from choosing which one our purpose for our speech, and then we analyze which one possible audience, and we choose the topic, especially that we desire about the topic. After that, we prepare our speech or our public speaking by conduct a research related to the topic. After we got the data, we organize and choose which one the most appropriate, which one that we will deliver it first as our main mission, and which one as an uh, additional speech or additional content. After we prepare it, we can try to rehearse or practice. First practice is about the verbal delivery, especially in wording, in pronouncing, and then nonverbal delivery, for example, like the expression and eye contact. So after we can make it, we will getting closer into the effective public speaking. But I also want to add something like the device and also the technological issues, especially while we should conduct to deliver our message through the digital, because we must be facing a very serious problem, especially with the internet connection. Sometimes we have a stable, sometimes we have unstable. So we should be ready with that situation. Okay. If you want to express something or to discuss something, I welcome for answering your question. Okay, is anyone here who want to express something? Pak Maringan, saya nggak bisa dengar, Pak.
Halo Mas, sudah kedengaran?
Yeah, we got it, Pak.
Okay, yeah. I would like to confirm or maybe asking the suggestion of you, Mas Dimas, about is there any specific differences to prepare the online public speaking and offline public speaking, Pak? Because I think the challenge is different, but actually the for me personally, the challenge is about how we can engage with the audience, especially in online public speaking, Pak. Do you have any suggestion about that situation, Pak Dimas?
Oke, baik. Terima kasih, Pak Hotma. Yes, I agree with you. The situation are quite different between the online public speaking and the offline public speaking. And the online public speaking itself, we can divide it into two different space. First is the synchronous public speaking, online public speaking. For example, like we conduct a Zoom meeting like today, and the second one is asynchronous. Well, we should try to record it first and deliver it through online. Each has their own difficulties, Pak. And yes, I agree with you. Engaging with our audience is totally very challenging. So uh, we should elaborate which one the most interesting for our target audience first. So while we have a target audience that they are so very active, we can try to make it as active as possible. And then, okay, Bu Melania, I will back to you after this, and I will try to answer your question after Pak Hotma. And in synchronous situation, we was that we should deliver, like, personally prefer to tell the story, speak like as their friends. Why it be matters? Because if we just give like a presentation, it must be boring, Pak. So our audience potentially going to sleep if we deliver it through that way. So it's better to get their engagement. Yes, I know that that is totally very difficult for make our audience stay in touch with us. But some of my friends, they prefer to use or to combine with the various tools like Mentimeter, and then like the others device, for example, link that shared through the chat room. But I personally never use it. Why I never use it? Because in my opinion, my audience comes from the various background, especially for the online. So they have their own issues, especially for the internet connection condition. That's totally challenging for all of the people. So I'm afraid that they cannot join to that situation. And as I know that it's not totally works for getting the expression. The others people, the other trainer, they will try to ask, or they playing with the ethical issues. For example, like you should open your camera and so on and so forth. Perhaps yes, it is match, and it is was that enlargement our engagement and our interaction with our audience. But again, not all of the our audience has the similar internet condition, and that is not applied while we are at the middle of the European countries or maybe American countries, as they have a strong or a good internet connection. But for in Indonesian and the Southeast Asian case, it's be a very issues like that, Pak. So if you want to respond, I welcome it, Pak.
Yes, Pak, because at some cases of public speaking, Pak, people are close the camera because they want to listen our webinar like a podcast, Pak. Yeah, that's
Yes,
some
that
of
is true, Pak.
my
We-
friend testify to me,
people-
Pak. Why you close my camera? I'm asking them. They said, I'm making your webinar as the podcast. They said. So that is why, yes, I'm listening your material, but I don't want to interact with you with the dynamic communication. I just to make it as the one-way communications. What do you think about that, Pak? Because I think this phenomena happens because yeah, we are living right now in the reality, right? Yeah, because we know that online class was started in COVID-19 pandemic, kan Pak. So right now COVID-19 is already disappear and we back to the reality, but we know that the trend of online class is still happening like what we are doing right now. So some of my friends confess to me about that phenomena. What do you think about making webinar as the podcast, Pak? It's just like listening to the radio.
Unfortunately, that's the reality, Pak.
Yeah,
That happened for all across Indonesia,
yeah.
and I personally believe that we should uh, get the point for example, the webinar and the hybrid learning is quite important to facilitate the students or maybe the participant from all part of the world, but uh, that's a bit anomaly, especially for Indonesia, because everything should be going online here and there. So it shapes the public's perspective that the online situation, it's not on what's that? Uh, the online situation is very challenging for them. So they cannot interact with the dynamic communications. Our challenge for delivering something. Uh, Here I also highlight like the target audience. If our target audience mostly like that, so we should deliver the point by point of our presentation through online, like we are giving a podcast broadcasting. But if we have a dynamic or maybe very active, if we have a dynamic or maybe very active audience, we can try to communicate with them one by one. So it's very demanding, Pak, about which one the most appropriate. That's every single setting has their own approach that we should be anticipated all the time. I think, can I go to the other part? Or
Yes,
maybe you want
yes,
to
yes,
respond
Mas.
something, Pak?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mas.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with Julie, Bu Julie or Mbak Julie. Turning off the camera, it helps to save bandwidth. Yes. I also did it. Okay, Bu Lani or Mbak Lani ya? Or Lani, you can respond something, please.
Thank you, Mas Dimas. So I have a question. Maybe I'm one of the person that Pak Hotma said. Somebody who likes to turn off the camera because there are so many things near me. So, but this is not a podcast for me. So my question is about communication in social media. You know, for advocation or for so many reasons, we are in social media, but well, you have taught us all those many things that we can do, like research using appropriate language, using so many things that you just taught us. But do you have like specific suggestion for maintaining social media to communicate our purpose, that we can reach our audience well, or maybe not just our targeted audience, because social media is like the word, it's public, it's really public. We can everyone, not just our targeted audience, but like many people, many people will watch whatever we do in our social media. Do you have a specific suggestion for that, other than, I mean, like, or maybe from wherever you just present us, maybe there are some specific things that we should do about that. Thank you. Maybe that's my question.
Okay, Lani, I will try to. Okay, I will try to explore your question because currently my field in my university is digital communication, so it's so relevant. Your question is so relevant with me. I also agree with you. While the social media is was that the most beneficial weapon for enlarging and expanding our horizon and our advocacy mission, because we can reach all of the people from everywhere, and we can try to influence through our content. So while we are talking about the social media itself, uh, we will comply, especially with the algorithm. So we should, and I personally agree with the various advocacy program delivered through the social media, because through social media we can targeting our target communicant, but at the same times we also can what's that educate the whole people about our issues. Now, the main problem is what is the differences between our targeted audience and also the general people? Maybe if I can suggest you, perhaps if I can I can send the materials through yoga if I found it on my file. Uh, Perhaps if we want to try to, what's that, expanding our advocacy program through the social media, we can make use of the with the various, what's that, various target of audience. For example, in one day, we can produce 1 until 3. The first content targeting into one specific topic. The second content is about the general information. And the third content is about not so formal, but that's there is still information inside. I think currently the people are likely to get the information from their social media, especially for the video. So if you want to expand your, what's that, your advocacy videos to advocacy and them, and perhaps you can place with algorithm to reach as much as possible audience. And according to my own and also my own research, the setting of the location is also beneficial for expanding our mission, especially from the social media. Like if you targeting the people, or perhaps if there is something bad happen in one of the country or one of the city, we can try to create our own videos and set the location to that city. So the people in that city will receive that kind of information. I tried this way while my department facing up with the problem through the social media attack. There were various digital content attack my department, and I try to neutralize it through that way. So if we want to advocate people in a very specific location, we can try to make it. Or maybe if there are how many people here? More than 20 people here want to help each other by working collaboratively. We can share our own version of information and set the location in a specific location in Indonesia or perhaps in Malaysia, in Singapore, and we can make it together. And we can make that collaborative works. That's for me. And I will try for answering Melania. How about your experience? Which method if we have combined participant young and old generation? Honestly, for the online, it's challenging, but for the offline situation, we can clearly make differences between audience with the for the young and also the old generation. Perhaps we can try by playing our tone, our uh, intonation while we speak in front of them. But for the online situation, it's quite challenging, especially for make a difference. And we should go straight with the main message first, and then we elaborate based on the example about the most relevant and also the most appropriate with our target audience, whether they are young or the old ones. Okay, Mbak Ririn, please go.
All right, thank you. This is
Oh,
actually not okay. This is actually not my question, but this is actually that was actually my students' question. In my class, when I asked my student to do presentation, and she did it, with shy, and we could say that not very confident. And then at the end of the class, I asked her personally and asked what was she feel or something like that, and she said that why she performed like that because there was trauma of her being rejected. So when she did presentation, she thought that their friends don't want her to stand in front of the class. So actually she asked me how to deal with that feeling, and until now I couldn't answer that. So if you have any thoughts of how to answer my students' question, thank you.
okay, Mbak Ririn, may I ask you something?
Yes, please.
Okay, in which level of education? Junior
University
high
level.
school, senior high
No, it's
school?
it's
Oh,
university
university
level.
level.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Mbak Ririn, I will try to elaborate about the solution. Uh, First thing first, the Z generation are quite uh, has their own attention, I mean, with the others people think about them. So they will make it as a serious problem for every single people think about them, especially it expressed directly to them. I don't know why it happened for the current generation, but that's totally happened. And I think I tried different ways while facing up the same condition in my university. So the first thing I encourage their first. I I try to like positive positive words to them that, oh, hey guys, you can make it, hey guys, you can do it. in every single day while I'm met him met her. So we can try to get it first, but we should aware that not all of our students, especially for the university level, they can receive that kind of appreciation. Now, that's the differences between the millennials and also the Z generation. Somehow they ask for the positive support, but otherwise they reject it at the same time. So
Agree
it's challenging.
100%. Yeah.
Yes, that's also happened in my
Mhm.
in my university also. And I think if in millennial generation there was a clear differences between the people who are studying in the big cities with the small cities,
Yeah.
but currently, no, that's totally no. What happened with the university student in Jakarta that's are similar with what is currently happen in the city like mine in Tulungagung, and it's more challenging for us. For perhaps we can try to approach them personally and speaking with them try my with I have my own strategy, Mbak Ririn.
Yeah.
So I never set a boundaries with my students,
Mhm.
both in class and also in their groups. I tried my best to be their friends, and I respect them like I respect myself. Okay. I think sorry. I think there is one people. Miss Elia, you want to?
Um, yeah, Maumi has her
Okay.
hand raised as well.
Okay. Yeah. Yoga, perhaps, uh, guys. I know that this is a great discussion, but perhaps for these two people, yeah. Okay, Miss Elia or Mbak Umi first.
Those two
That's
questions, and you can respond to. Well, yeah, yeah.
Hello?
So am I audible?
yes. I can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry. Hi everyone. Sorry for the time constraints. I can quickly to question all at once, if that's okay, and then we will have to close off because Madimas has to go somewhere else for another occasion. So yeah, I'll just let Maumi speak, and then who's the other one? Mizelia Barros speak after.
Hello,
Yeah.
Umi here.
You can
Hello.
go with it. Yeah.
Yes,
I
please
just
go.
want to ask about how. Hello.
Yes, you're
I,
Yes.
perfectly audible,
I can hear
Umi.
you, Mbak.
Go ahead.
oh, okay. Okay. I just want to ask about how to overcome nervousness because I have ever been in situation giving the speech, but my nervous and my anxiety it's like overpowering me. So I became blank and then cannot think anything. So in the end, I have to quickly finish my speech, even though I already prepare. So do you have any suggestion how to overcome the nervousness and anxiety? I am a domestic worker in Malaysia, and I'm joining the association. So sometimes I have to giving the speech about the situation of domestic worker in here. Hello.
Yeah, so the other person has the same question as Maumi, so we can probably just respond, Mas Dimas.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Mas Dimas just dropped from the line. Please wait for him to join. Wait.
Okay, I'm so sorry for, I don't know. Okay, let's try. I will try to for answering Mbak Umi ya. Uh, First, keep in your mind that this is your time, so you can make it by your own, and you are capable enough to do it. Yeah, Mbak Umi. And then, secondly, you can try to take a deep breath, hold for 10 seconds by count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Do it over and over again, Mbak, until you feel enjoy and you don't feel that nervous again. Okay, perhaps we have the other question.
So the other person has the same question as Maumi. So I think yeah, I think you answered her question as well.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you, Mas Dimas, for your sorry, for your excellent presentation. I personally learned so much from your presentation, and I'm sure that others did the same as well. So before we sign off, I'd like to invite everyone to turn their cameras on for a photo session. Yeah, so if you're able to turn on your camera, please do so. And if you want to connect with Mas Dimas, I can drop his email address, and I'm not sure if you're open to sharing your social media accounts, Mas Dimas, but I
Uh,
think
I think it's better for email, Yok.
sure. Okay, yeah. All right. So Mas Dimas is being surveilled by the state now for his involvement in a lot of activism. So
Yeah,
so
true.
yeah, so he's not accessible on social media, but he's contactable through email. So I can drop his email address later. Yeah. Okay, I have three slides on my screen. I'll start with the first one. I'm sorry I can't turn on my camera. Uh, Okay, so let's start with the first screen. One, two, three. You can keep smiling because you not. You, I'm not sure where you are on your end. Yeah. So one, two, three. This is the second screen. One, two, three. Yep. Last one. One, two, three. Thank you so much for your participation, everyone, and I hope that you take much away from the presentation. And see you again on the 21st of September. We're going to have somebody else over for a very interesting presentation on how to integrate AI into our English learning. Okay? Um, so see you again in, I guess, 3 weeks or 2 weeks. Yeah? Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Melania.
everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye bye. Thank you, Mas Dimas.
Thank
Uh,
you.
Bye. Bye
Thank
bye. Bye
you.
bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank
nice.
you,